Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib. I guess everybody's started bounty or about to. There might be some changes associated with at least the weapon, specifically the weapon weight. We'll get into that in a little bit because otherwise, I think we're in a potential world of hurt if they don't iron out what the problem is with the what's showing in the game currently. But we still have 23 hours before anybody can claim those. But just be aware that those weapon weights might be off by, a factor of 2, probably, or maybe 1.5. Expect them to weigh way more than they do right now. I'm sort of killing time until Derpy shows up. He should be here momentarily. But, well, let me go ahead and hey, how are you doing, Mike?
I'm doing all right. How's everybody doing? I know y'all can't say, but I assume well.
Well, they can in the chat. But,
They can in the chat, yes.
Okay, well, let's move
Good.
on to the...
Everybody's good.
there he is.
Hey, Dirk.
Hey, Derpy.
It's all good.
Could you test your mic one more time? Not really.
Get out of the closet now.
There's some issue.
This works?
A little bit better. A little bit better. Not great, but it's better. We can hear you now. No bug fixes this week. This is the second week in a row where everything's good.
Well, that's because we have the exterminator. No bugs.
There we go. It's all been taken care of. Yeah, your mic's much better now.
Yep.
And Mike quit eating Tic Tacs or whatever that is.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So 2 weeks in a row, no information on any bug fixes. So it's going to be a sort of a trend, I think, that we'll see throughout the show is the information that's being provided has been curtailed to a certain extent. And we'll see how this moves on going forward. So let's move on to the next one.
Oh, that's me. Yeah, I was just getting some Tums from heartburn.
Okay.
Anyway.
All good.
I'm lying, but that's okay.
We have Sword of Legion, which is for your Gladius, in case you need to get some upgrade tokens. High Ground is for your Everest. No upgrade tokens, but there are build tokens and technology in there. So, but I think a lot of people that are caught up probably don't have any issue with their Everest builds at this point, especially the large number of players that never claimed the Avalanche Mortar. But even if you didn't, you should be in potentially in good shape. And at some point today, we're going to get the CM Diary, including stat compression and so much more. Who knows if they're going to do that? We don't, we're not getting, like I said, we're not getting information the way we had been historically. Alrighty, let's move on to the next one. All right. There is Bounty, the monthly check-in, which is above this map. I think that was last week, though. I mean, above the game. One more click. I'm sorry, not yet. As you see, our PvE calendars have run to the end. No longer valid.
Looks like I'm in charge now.
Yes, if you don't know when everything's going to be, I mean, there's the predictable stuff, but then there's the stuff that they throw at us where, as an example, like the Return to Honor, they've been switching the weeks or trying to switch it more than they have been. Is it going to be during Bounty? Is it going to be during VXP? Is it going to be the following week? And with, an 8 to 10 day upgrade time, if you don't know until the Friday beforehand, you may be SOL.
Mm-hmm.
So, Alrighty, let's move on to the next one. All right, again, we have this as the only point of information for Outpost 12. So potentially a month from now, but we don't know. One more click. One more click. So we can assume that the saw factory is going to be part of Outpost 12, or maybe before this. The saw factory is coming soon than you think. This is from our new CM. So
I'll believe it when I see it.
yeah, I mean, it really depends on when you think, but as opposed to providing information, this sort of feels like it's taunting to me. So alrighty, any thoughts on the calendar? Let's go back. Any thoughts on the calendar or lack thereof, or the whole changes of how they seem to be delivering information from anybody?
Oh, it's just I would prefer to have accurate on-time information, but I guess that's too much to ask for. And the big thing people can do, in my opinion, is make sure you save 2 weeks of build tokens for the raid.
Yep.
That's the important thing to do.
Yep. Or write your senator or prime minister about this. So either one.
That's unconstitutional.
It depends where you're from. So
also on the note of the Everest or the exterminator weapons, what was wrong with those?
We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, Bounty 40. We're gonna have a heck of a time. We'll see how much help I get with Bounty 41, because I think that's going to be a tricky one. So we'll see how we have to work that up. But let's move on. All right, same targets as last time. Captain, Quartermaster, and small child breaking labor laws.
So if it says if it's the same targets as last time, why does the message above that on forms say captains will continue to see a variety of targets? Did they just?
Well, it's the same category. It's not the same targets. It's the same categories, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, same categories that we've had for the last 3 bounties. Sorry if I misspoke there. And
it might actually end up being the same targets. It might not. I haven't hit any yet, so I'm not aware.
Okay, are you on the phone or are you on your computer?
I am on my computer.
Okay, so we can test out some of the old favorites once we get to there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, let's move on. All right, I compared the exterminator, which is 30K. You can earn 2 of them, which is the first tier 10 conqueror. As you see, we have the weight has increased 50%, from 80 to 120K, which originally put out some alarm bells, and then I was like, well, we'll get to that. The armor points have gone up by, from 47.5 to 125K. So, but again, you can only claim 2 exterminators, and we're still uncertain about, especially the weapon weight moving forward. Concussive damage is the same as the Warhound. They've doubled all the damage-specific deflections. Turret defense has stayed the same. Defense handicap doesn't matter anymore. And then combat speed, map speed, turn speed, all the same. Thermal imaging is the same. They have added in a armor slot, and they've changed the built-in weapon from a rocket to a long-range, medium to long-range missile with a fairly large blind spot. We don't know if this is retargeting, this weapon. I don't know. Have we ever had a retargeting missile with splash?
That's a good question. I mean, does it have an accuracy stat on it at all? It
says
does.
100%.
So we assume that actually is accuracy based. I assume it would be.
Well, I think if you have splash at 100%, we assume that it's dumbfire, right?
I would assume it's actually tracking, but I don't know. You also retargeting is a stat that needs to be added on through like a special.
Not necessarily.
In most cases.
Yeah, there's a
if
lot.
It doesn't say retargeting here. It probably doesn't have it.
Well, except for special, the built-in weapons have been lacking a lot of stats historically. Like we don't have projectile speed. We don't have all the information that we would have associated with normal weapons.
Yeah, so they just may be doing the let's make it not clear and see what happens.
Yes, maybe we'll change it later. So this is, and I saw somewhere, I'm not sure if it's true, because it said it doesn't have any building damage, but that doesn't make any.
If a weapon has the same, doesn't specify building damage stat, it's usually just the same as the damage stat. I think that's how this is going to work. I would be extremely surprised if it didn't work like that.
I saw some mods. Let's see. It will not. It won't. Billy is acting like, from what I see, that it doesn't do building damage.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know that's part of the whole reason where, like, I feel like we're lacking the information to make this like a strategy game where you make decisions about what you do. Because I mean, if that's true, they would need to add an extra line in there that says building damage 0, or
I would assume so. Yeah, or text that, like on the hero or whatever, that says this does not damage buildings.
Yes, correct.
And that's not on here, so.
Yeah, the assumption would be that it does 10 million to turrets and buildings and everything based on reading this. So that's that's my fear. And again, I'm uncertain about this, and I'm uncertain about the weapon as well. So this acts different than the rockets that were on the Warhound that had a firing angle. Firing of 90, I'm assuming this is just headed straight forward.
Yeah, but we don't know because they haven't told us.
So, but again, no specials and bonuses. So I'm assuming that is the rank bonuses that they're referring to. So
I assume bonuses means rank bonuses. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know that for sure, but I assume so.
Yeah. So the reload time should stay at 6, no matter what you do in theory. But again, without getting to the weapon, the large increase in armor, the doubling of deflections, makes this appear to be a very powerful ship. So, okay, let's move on to the weapon. All right, the Abolisher Gatling gun. I've compared it to the Desolator Gatling gun. Came out with the Warhound. You can't switch between them. They're both tied to the hull. And you see here, this is my question. You saw the 50% increase in weight for the exterminator over the Warhound. But if you take a look at the weight of the weapons, they are the same, and we have the same specials. It has one more.
Okay. Why is that an issue with them having the same weight?
Because this is tier 10, and the fact that this is going to be, well, let's move down. All right, this as far as damage over deflection, we see 500 divided by 2, so 250,000 for the Abolisher, as opposed to 95K. So faster reload time, and the wind-up bonuses are the same. The issue that I have is potentially you could build two of the new ships where you're doing way more damage with the two of them and still stack them with 3 more Warhounds, because there's really nothing increasing the weight. So it would still fit in our current dock space and just run over and abuse everybody.
Yeah, that is what it's looking like right now. You can build a full one of these things. I mocked up a build just now, and it's less than 80K.
Yes. But you see the addition of the huge addition of armor, the doubling of deflections, and the more than 2.
You're telling me I should coin this day one?
I'm telling you that I would expect to see a potential change prior to the 22 hours and 42 minutes that the store opens.
Maybe increase the weight or change the weight on a few other things so that this is not as overpowered and you can't fit this with 4 other ships or 3 other ships.
This is the only thing that you could change the weight on. You can't change the weight on the specials.
You could give the whole armor weight modifier, whatever.
Yeah, it's already built in. So I would expect that this to change to 20 or something like that before the store opens. But we'll see. But I wouldn't. You can look back tomorrow and see what number they come up with. But I seriously doubt it's going to still be 10.6K. Because this would be way too overpowered inside of bases, and it would just be, especially when we're on the precipice of OP upgrades, dock upgrades, and all these other things. If people would just get run through, especially the OP upgrades, how long does it take to repair an OP?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, you never had a.
No one ever beats mine.
Okay, very good. So, I think they would if this comes in at the same weight that it is. So I would expect changes here, to be honest. So, because otherwise they're pretty identical, except for the increase in salvo, the reload time, and yeah, the weights. I'm assuming the weight's going to change. So I think we got like one more slide. Oops. I think maybe in the wrong order. Try to go one more beyond the return to honor. Go 2 forward, Mike. Huh. I don't know what happened. Okay, keep on going back. I don't know. I have one for this. Well, go back to the previous one. Return to honor is not. I swear I had a slide for the store. The abolisher is a non-limited weapon. I think it's 10,000 off memory. The exterminator is 30K, and you can claim 2 along with 2 skins. Those are the prizes they listed as at least from memory, but they listed as being available. The top prizes available.
Let me go ahead and check that, or we can do that when I hit the targets. But
okay, there's another thing I want you to look at. Yeah, if you could, start sharing your screen, because there's something I want to look at and see if it's just me.
I am in the middle of the 97 right now, so you can take a look at that if you want. It's the same method I've done for the past however many things. Take the harrower. I might show it again if I can find one. Prep out the overlord with the harrower, then trenchers in behind everything, and you're just about golden.
Okay.
So
no changes from last month?
No changes on the 97 that are noticeable to me. Maybe they put in a different turret, but if they did, it does not damage my ships anymore, so I didn't notice any changes.
Okay. Yeah, and I think it was the same the previous month, correct?
Yeah, this has been a very consistent target. So.
Okay.
I still do it in 2 hits. You could probably get it done in 1. It's just, do I want to do this a few dozen times, a few hundred times? I don't know.
Well, you have to claim the exterminator is 30K, so you're going to get how much out of this one?
It varies a little bit. That time I got 2.5K, which is probably a pretty good number.
Okay.
I don't know exactly. It varies, which is frustrating. So,
okay.
That's an instant repair again. If I look in the bounty prizes, exterminator is 30K. Yep. And then the Gatling gun is 10K. You were correct on those.
Yeah.
I don't know what else I'll need. Maybe I can get some of these protector plates. I probably should go ahead and get another one of these limited engines for it, unless I want to take one off my other ships or what have you, or that will be in pillage. Yeah, so 70K, 85K. I have 5,000. So
there you go.
Better get cracking. I could show the 97 again.
Sure.
Or for the first time here, actually.
Slides done?
I assume so, yes, Mike.
Okay. I have to be AFK for a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so starting this out, I enter on the top right. I do have a Fear the Splitzer crew. I immediately tell the hair work to go to the corner. I group everything out. I deselect the hair work, group everything up, and get ready to attack this first portal. Once that first portal is down, I'm going to go right close to the land and see if I can get the second one. Which you have to, again, shift click and sort of park yourself right next to it and try and not take too much splash damage from the corrosive turrets that are going to get you. And you go up to the right, way out of the way, out of the range of the Overlord carrier, so your Harrower and or Warhounds and or Trenchers can kill it out of the way of everything else. And ideally, just have it targeting that one ship and hitting that one ship. Once those are dead, now that you have both gates down, you can send in the Harrower and get it right next to the Overlord. Should submerge any minute now. There we go. Looks like you still have a few of these corrosive turrets and Hellmouths in here, which Hellmouths aren't bad. These corrosive ones, the Armageddon, are. And then these 2 decimators might do a little bit of damage to you. You will get slowed down by the slow field if you go in it, but that doesn't matter if you're already moving. Just make sure you're past the decimator and the firing arcs, and the gatekeepers are hopefully submerged. Once you get here past this one, you can select the gatekeeper and shoot at it and kill it. You actually do hit it underwater. Then I'll go for the Overlord. The other gatekeeper I might get, I might not. We'll see if I can manage to grab that without going in range. And maybe I wait for it to surface first, so I don't have to run into range of the decimators. Any questions up to this point from chat and or... Oh, there we go. Surfaced. And I'm taking a little bit of damage. I prefer to retreat and come back, but I'll just charge in to see if it's possible. And these 4 trenchers, I just want to select the gate and get in behind as quickly as possible. And you can see there's some long-range turrets that are firing, but they're pretty much missing because they're long-range, dumbfire, and I'm moving. The decimators probably get a little bit of damage off, but at this point, it's game over, and I could press the S button and walk away if I wanted to. But if I want it done more quickly, I'll take a few ships, tell them to split up someplace, and that's that. It's not a bad target. You can do it with U0 Warhounds. You can do it with 4 Trenchers at U0 plus a Harrower to prep out. You can do 4 Warhounds and a Harrower. I'm not actually sure about Hellswarms.
Sorry. Trying to deal with a technical issue over with Mike.
But there we go. That's probably one of the higher targets you can do for instant repair, or low repair at least, in Bounty. The other one might be, I think it's the 108. That's one I've hit a few times before.
Okay. And that provides the same payout?
I'm not sure. We'd have that on the slides, or I can.
All we get is Captain, Quartermaster, Powder Monkey.
Yeah.
So we don't know what. This one, the one you're hitting, is a Quartermaster because you got 2,500 points.
Yes. Okay, so that's 10 minutes repair if I do it in one hit. That's 2,500 that time again. That was the 97. I think
Carl's asking us if your fleet is U2.
Yes, my 4 trenchers are U2. My Harrower is U1 as of a few days ago.
Okay.
But I did this with U0. You're not really using the U2 stun because you're not taking damage, and you're not really using the ship weapon on the trenchers from U2 either.
Okay.
I'm just trying to find the 108 to see what level it is. I was fairly sure it was a Quartermaster. I'm not sure I enjoy playing Scroll the Map for Battle Pirates.
Yeah, why are they not in Locator?
Because then we could find the one we wanted more easily, and we wouldn't take as much damage hitting the other ones.
Yeah, I guess engagement time, or whatever they call it.
Yeah, they want people to be sitting on screen playing.
Yeah.
By looking through the map and getting a frame rate of 5.
And getting frustrated and be like, oh, can I just...
And just logging off and not doing bounty. Yeah, I'm somewhat convinced Kicksai's goal for bounty is to get people to blitz. I don't know if I'll find a 108.
Okay.
I don't even know if they are in this bounty, but I'll check a final base here. Yeah, not seeing it. And there probably are still 2 level 170s and 2 level 120s, which annoys me.
Okay.
What did you want me to check to see if you're...
Okay, go to your shipyard.
Okay.
Okay, go to design mode. And okay, whatever ship is fine, because I think it's across. Okay, go to just click on the weapon, and now just on the blueprint one, just click the little arrow there that helps you select. Just use depth charge. That's what I was using. Okay.
Yeah, it's not working.
Yeah, and then limited works, and then the other thing that's a little bit off is go to blueprint and then start typing in a weapon or whatever.
Let's see.
Yeah, you're getting the same thing I am, where it's taking the previous
DOL.
Yes. See, yeah, it's useless. I don't know if everybody's seen what's going on there.
If I typed in polonium, it's doing polonium factorial or something.
Yeah, it's broke.
If I exit full screen, does that do?
I mean, there's...
Nope. Oh well. Kicksai, your game is bugged.
I mean, I guess you need to claim the exterminator in order for this to be taken care of.
Did we lose Hefe?
You can't hear me?
I think we lost Hefe.
Oh.
I guess while I'm on here, I might as well, with my exterminator build, I just took my Warhound, and if I have one saved, I took my Warhound and I just changed it out for the exterminator, and you can update the armors as you see fit. Maybe best to use explosive, corrosive, whatever you see fit, but keep a D6 TA in there.
Can you hear me?
That's really all there is to it. It's just the same specials because well, I can't hear Hefe. I'm just talking to myself.
Well, Mike can hear me.
Well, there's my build. I'll troubleshoot my audio.
Okay. Can you? Yeah.
And now I can hear you.
Okay, now you can. Yeah, Mike. The reason that says you're backstage is you don't have any devices connected, either mic or cam. So that's. I don't know if you have something muted or what's going on. So I guess we're fraught with technical difficulties at this point. But at least I'm back on. But that's the issue with why I can't add you back in, Mike, because you don't have any way to communicate with people. So, all right. Yeah, I just thought it was, because you like to blame anything that happens on my computer. So I was just curious if that was the case, or the fact that you think that I'm a boomer, that I couldn't type these things in. But, whatever generation you are, you can't even type those things in. It works for limited. I haven't even tried research. All this stuff works for limited, but it does not work for blueprints, which is the most onerous of the ones to go through. Yeah, the way that they transcribe the code over from Flash to HTML5, I've been noticing issues for a while. Certain things haven't been added in, but it seems to be getting worse and not better. You can hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, just making sure.
I did see, I'm looking for this now. If I don't select unowned components, it will show up the things I own with cannons.
Okay.
Are you seeing this?
Yeah, I'm seeing this.
If there's a cannon I don't own, I can't find it. But if there's one I do own, then I can see it fine.
Okay. Let's see if that fixes the typing issue.
And the CM diary is live, so.
Yeah.
Oh, it also fixes the typing issue.
Okay. So it's just something with the unknown components is the issue. Okay. We figured out the fix. Do you want to go over and I can't, too late to make slides out of them, but
yeah, I can go over to the forum post.
Okay.
Let's see here. CM diary. First one from the new guy.
Yeah.
Zoom in a tad here too.
Let's see if he tells us what his favorite colors are and all that good nonsense.
Ooh. We get the much anticipated Saw Factory Outpost 13 and stat improvements. That sounds pretty good. I don't know if stat improvements means you take 0 off, but we'll find out.
Perfect. Yeah.
Has someone been playing Street Fighter?
I don't know what that is.
It does feel like an old Nintendo game.
It does feel. Is that the name of it? I don't know. I never played that. I thought it had a different name. Okay. We're gonna get
February raid time. Perfect strike. Skirmish Siege units legendary. 2 new S targets. Okay, we're expecting that. A new X target and retuned A targets. So they're taking the photon targets and nerfing them or buffing them. I don't know. Tier 10 Siege Hole, the Reclaimer, or launcher for it. Limited special and a normal special for it, which will all be coming in the raid. Interesting. What's coming in Pillage? I would have expected
the engine.
Yeah, it might be the engine. I expected this thing to be in Pillage. No, we have one in the raid too.
Yeah, because that was my question as far as are we going to be stuck with stone cold? Because I collected 2 stone colds just in case we ran into the same situation that we ran into with the photons. But with this release during the raid, because reactive rod loaders and
All of
critical
your reactive rods.
yeah, those don't. Neither. Well, critical compression system maybe could be an engine. I don't know.
That sounds
But
like you're working on weapon reload and making it I don't know.
yeah, I'm just saying it's pot. It doesn't really sound like an engine, but
It doesn't.
well, compression as far as is anybody as far as engine compression and whatnot, as far as boosting speed. That's the only reason I went with compression system. Could be an engine, but potentially we'll see that in the FM. Who knows what we're going to see in Pillage, though?
Yeah, they're telling us about the thing that's happening. What is it? 2 weeks from now, not the thing a week from now. Is this Bounty 40 or 41 right now? Oh, it's currently Bounty 40. Okay. All
40.
good.
Yeah.
Saw Factory, much anticipated.
Let's see what it has to say.
Outpost 13 is coming with it. Major upgrades for many buildings across the entire base. Upgrades to your current buildings, introduction of Saw Factory, which you can research and build traps with and set it in your base to add extra trouble. So like mines, torpedoes, whatever little guard ships maybe. For anyone who dares to attack your base, more building upgrade, Saw Factory, 10.7 update.
Okay, we're at 11.4 right now.
So 3 weeks from now?
Yeah. So about the time that we sort of, by me looking back, it's about the same time. We'll see the exact date. If you want to go all the way to the bottom and then back up, you go all the way down to the bottom. Well, not all the way to the bottom, but there we go. 11.7 after the next raid, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's the week of hold on. Week of February 16th. Oh, 15th right there.
15th, okay. Yeah, okay.
Okay, back to the Saw Factory. Yeah, we get that in the next update, or not the next update. We just talked about that 10.7. 3 weeks from now, 2.5, 3.5, something like that.
After the raid, whatever you want to call it.
Yep. Community improvements. They're going to ban everyone.
Okay.
No, that's not what that says. Merchant channels and sections on forums and Discord. Okay, the only thing people use on forums is pretty much the general thing. Monthly instead of weekly calendars. Okay. They're taking away BP next week.
Are they doing that as well? I don't know.
So instead of monthly and weekly calendars, we just have monthly ones.
Well, I think maybe BP next week. I don't know. Do they consider BP next week to be a calendar? He did when he posted it, called it a calendar.
Yep.
Which I agree with. But I mean, we did have the PvP calendar.
Yeah, so he calls next week a calendar, and he wants to do them monthly instead of weekly. Oh well.
Yeah. I don't think they get it.
Well, you're just gonna have to make one detailed one that has everything in it, and not give you as much wiggle room. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, it does. I don't think they understand the issue.
Well, if we have a monthly calendar that is accurate and tells us what's coming up in the next month in terms of every week what's happening, this week is this TLC, this week is this TLC. That's fine by me as long as it's accurate.
Yeah, but the problem that they have is with the 2-month PvE calendars, I think the reason they're getting rid of this is because they were planning 2 months ahead, and so therefore they didn't want to be held accountable for what they said. So now if you're monthly creating the detail at that level. You understand what I'm saying? Because the BP next week tells us what exactly what TLCs are showing up, and you understand what I'm saying. That it makes them more accountable.
Yeah,
to do
if
things
they do it how we're thinking they might, which is actually detailed. If they just get rid of BP next week and don't tell us the TLCs till the weekly update, that's completely different.
Yeah, and easier to read briefing formats. Is anybody, because the new guy is from War Commander, previously from customer support. Does anybody, how are the raid briefings different?
Well, we can find out. Investigative research.
Yeah.
Contest calendar. Well, he does a War Commander next week, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Event. Gravity Well chapter. This seems like an event to me.
Yeah.
So you have, let me zoom out to whatever it is.
A larger font. Does that mean that's what do you mean?
They're increasing accessibility.
Yeah. I mean,
although this actually isn't a font, it's an image, so it's less accessible to people with screen readers or what have you.
Okay.
Oh well. Some nice pictures. Those look it looks pretty. Some pictures next to things.
Are these all images?
Yep.
Oh, he's just trying to prevent me from doing the show, isn't he?
He doesn't want you to. He wants you to type in all the letters. He doesn't want you to copy and paste.
Yeah, or copy and paste his stuff as opposed to. Oh my goodness! I didn't know that the venom went that deep. So I thought we were on better terms. But oh well.
We had a picture calendar. What do these look like? Yeah, this is what we get. Coming soon to Battle Pirates. Picture calendars. Oh, look at them.
Already.
I thought I was funny.
It's funny, but it's it's still sort of okay. Let's go to stat improvements before I get.
Has anyone noticed the armor numbers getting ridiculous? Armor's in the hundreds of millions. 3 significant digits, 6 digits that don't matter. That's not really what significant digit. Yeah, I guess that is. It depends where you put the period, but okay. After 10 years, we already had one. This doesn't mean anything for you. The performance of the 9 and 10 holes will be the same. They're just taking 3 zeros off everything or whatnot. Increase in the armor will not increase repair time, but no one uses older holes. A Thud 1 is just getting buffed is what's happening.
Yeah, we talked about it on previous shows. Because, the Thud 1 has a base damage of 7. So if you take away 3 zeros, it's going to be 1, but massive, massive damage increase.
And they're maybe buffing a few older holes, but it doesn't matter because by the time a thing's a year old, it's useless.
Did they say that?
No, I said that. They said they might be buffing.
I was just making sure, because it's a little small for me to read. So I was like, because I'm older. So I was just making sure that it didn't actually say that. Because, it's a true statement. I agree with your statement. I just trying to make sure they weren't saying it.
No, they weren't.
Okay.
Well, let's see if we can get through the background noise. Flash is dead officially, unless you do weird things. But Battle Pirates still has the little enable Flash player button. I don't know when they're taking that away. Where'd this go? I lost my place. If you're still experiencing issues, try the tips below or tell him. And if last time I told him something, he just said, no new information to report on that. I'm like, okay, I wanted to talk to you about something, not ask if you already knew about it, but whatever. Here's the tips that we've had before. And things to use, things to not use.
Yeah, do not use Internet Explorer, Safari, or Puffin. Puffin's just a mobile one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure that it didn't have
Warmonger's applications are now closed. They make it sound like it's something prestigious or something like that.
Well, because they leaked out the blueprint.
Yeah, they leaked something on day one. So
yeah, they leaked out the exterminator blueprint.
Yeah.
Right away.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's yeah.
Whoever they pick, I don't know. Well, Bottle Pirate's story contest is live, so.
Oh, have you done one yet?
Yeah, I wasn't going to, but I did. I kept it quite short, but
okay.
I'm just waiting for the random drop. Or they can, maybe we can read some of the entries. Which
I have not previewed these, so just in case,
I previewed a few of them.
Okay.
Does it still say random? Yeah, it says it random. Imagine this is the winner from Kelvin Brackeneer. Sounds kind of like someone I know. I've gotten to actually meet one or two pirates and made some great friends through the years. Okay, great story. Here's someone else who wrote 4 times as much as you.
Well, what did Geely edit out?
There was someone's name.
Well, okay, okay. Yeah.
So
okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm leaving this one up to you because
there are stories here, and some of them I don't know.
Many pirates of Outlaw Racer didn't decide who could join their crew. Blackbeard is especially known for this.
Actually, yeah. I think it's Orangebeard or something. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, that was.
Well, we don't need to go more into the Battle Pirate story event.
You were going to get into them, so I was.
I was. Many years ago, I had a life, and then I met Kickstarter. My life we never stayed because they stole it, and I haven't had it back. Oh no! I have memories of Blackwater fun raids, and I have memories of good things. And currently, I have a collection of hundreds of days of tokens I can never use.
Yeah, the whole thing just sounded like, I've been playing the game for over 10 years. And it just sounded like something you did not want to have people put on the internet about your game.
Friends is quite good.
My 15-year-old wants to be a YouTuber. Is there any little parts of this you want to? I mean, there was different ones that because with 10 years, I was like, well, what parts do I pick and choose? Like, I mean, there was some fun parts where like the first raid. I was in Sector 1 for the first raid, and I was like, the first raid was supposed to be 24 hours, and basically you were hitting old cargoes like current day, like 40s and below. And, I figured out a formula using sea wolves and floating fortresses. And I was kicking ass and taking names. And I'm like, okay, this is going well. And I'm like, 24-hour raid. I'm staying up all day because people are sort of nipping at my heels, but I just want to crush their souls and win this to get the Hammerhead A. And I'm like, okay. And so I stayed up 24 hours, and like 19, 20 hours in, they're like, oh, we're going to make this a 36-hour raid. So now I need to stay up an additional 12 hours straight. And I was like, I was not appreciative of that. And then a friend of mine who was in the sector, because you were trapped in these sectors at that point, because there was a 6-month period of time where you could not relocate. And he was coining, and he felt bad at the end of the day. The fact that I had spent all this time, and I would have been just completely, he was just autoing and coining. And he realized, at the end of the day, the right thing to do was to let me win, because because coining was not considered kosher, but was not considered the thing to do at that point in time in the game. And I was like, because I was, he knew because I was talking the whole time. I told him how to set it up, as far as how to get the most points, and I had told him how to do that. And I would have been disappointed, but I wouldn't have ended our friendship or anything like that. But I was disappointed. And then, so yeah, 36 hours up, I was, not right for days. And then right afterwards, there was, we got the HHA, which was completely psychedelic at that point, where it was flashing different colors the whole time. Not what it looks like right now with like orange and black and yellow with mostly orange. And it was a slight increase in the game as far as over the floating fortress, whatever. And then the other issue I had was Destro, Will Harbin, the CEO of the game, was also in my sector. And not that, about 35, 40 seconds away from me, which was way different at that point in time. 35, 40 seconds away was really close. Because it took you, at that point in time, it took you...
Your fleets would just go really slow, and you'd have to explore places and find things. And you could set your fleet not too far away. It would take you an hour to go a pretty large distance.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I mean. If you're inside of a minute, you are pretty much on the screen with people, or just outside of the screen. And so, I had multiple run-ins with him after this because I won that one. One, he tried to pick off my Seawolves. He had already built, he got gifted the HHA, and he put on assault cannons, which had a 47 range. I had Thud 3s or Thud 4s on them, on my Seawolves, and he had the HHA. And those had a 50 range, base range, once you put it on HP 3. And he was so mad. He attacked me, and then I cleaned out his fleet, using that little range difference my Seawolves had over the HHAs. And he was like, the server engineer told me this is the best build ever. And da da da.
Well, maybe you should fire your server engineer.
He was mad that the server engineer gave him this build, and he attacked me, and he still lost. But to give a little bit more on the CEO, as far as the way he acted,
server engineer still around?
I don't know, unless it was Peter. I mean, Peter's but I'm assuming he was a server engineer from San Francisco, not one from outside the U.S. And then the next step is he started wanting to hit my bases with the HHAs. And so he would go in and he would bunker bust. He would bunker bust my ballistic turrets, my cannon turrets, the howitzers, and he would bunker bust them, go in, coin a new rocket, do another one, and then he got upset again when I bubbled because he had spent too much time using bunker busters to take out my turrets. And then he didn't outright call me a pussy for not busting my bubble, to let him continue to just bunker bust my turrets until he could beat my base. But he came pretty close. That was the word I felt closest about with that. But I'm not sure these are the stories that they want.
Yeah, I don't know, and it's all random. So I can write boomer, I can win.
Say one more time.
I can just write boomer and I win because it's random and I wrote something.
Yeah. And I did ask the new CM, it's like, what do you want? And he's just sort of like, just honest stories about your experience with battle pirates. And I'm like, okay, whatever that means.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think, because I have other ones that you've heard, and I'm like, they don't want these stories.
I think Lady Cat's going to win again.
I don't know. Has she written one?
No.
Okay. Mine might be I blame Derpy, and that's all I write, and see if I win. I don't think I'll win, but
yeah, probably won't.
Yeah, but yeah, that was I have so many stories that I'm not gonna for after 10 years, and then back when I was in before we actually had alliances.
Before we had a lot of people just rename themselves with their one free name change.
Well, we didn't rename ourselves, but it was like me and Spack and Akbar and oh my god. And we would all have pictures that look like Care Bears, and we would just find a new sector and then just talk trash and comms and then just fleet to fleet the sector away because they didn't really know what they were doing. That was amusing. You would get the death threats. I just sort of stopped doing that because, the death threats from like random people that were just protecting their family or whatnot. That was just sort of like, oh, this is just not good. But the game was so big at that point. I mean, because you also had, combination that hacking was still an issue in the game. It was a huge issue in the game, at that point in time. So you get accused of being a hacker, but we would figure out what the math was. How the specials impacted you and how to drive them, and we would just figure it out, and you just couldn't stop us at that point in time. But the game has changed. It's not that way anymore. So I don't know. Well, yeah, sector versus sector, or this is in sector, because I do remember going from sector 1 down to sector 2.
And sector 2 is mad because they're almost the best, but they're not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I actually we had the sector wars, and and one of my friends, because he was he saw what I was doing in these competitions, was one of the game designers, and he saw the sector wars. He's no longer with the company, and I'm not going to name any names, but yeah, he would help us.
Don't kiss and tell.
Yeah, he would help us with the sector to sector wars, by showing up and being like, all right, well, I have a combination, and you would watch what he had, like I have a floating fortresses with a combination of mortars, rockets, and the whole thing, and he just bulldoze everybody with this combination. It didn't work really well against what I had, HP3, Thud 4, CWOs. I could avoid the, whatever. I don't know. I put the link out there. I'm just saying, I got just random crazy stories about battle pirates that go for days, but I don't feel inclined to, submit anything. So,
yep. Wow.
But the link is out there in case anybody would like to join the show. If you have any questions, because otherwise I think we're going to, Crypto's there. Hey, Crypto. Crypto, you there? You're on mute. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Hello. Is there anything you have to, that you want to say for the live show?
No, just main thing. Remember to start saving your token. Raid hole.
I think you said save your tokens for the raid hole.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. This week's or next week's?
Well, if you save last week's and this week, and then we have a third week, so there's 3 weeks total between last trade and this one that you could token through. You got to save 2 of them. You can spend 1. I might spend a week's worth on a Conqueror hole.
Yeah, because last week, so yeah, I don't have any. So from this point on, we need to start saving them. Last week, yeah. Okay. Sounds good, Crypto. And Derpy. I don't know. Anything else we should discuss? Any findings in Bounty or anything else? Okay. Well, unless anybody else wants to join, I guess we will see y'all on Friday. Hopefully we get some new information about stuff, and we'll see you in one form or another. So until then, you all have a good night.
Bye all.